Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Fort Wayne Up Close. I get the honor and privilege today to sit down and talk about mental health, something that has, been plaguing, has been a stigma in the Black community. So anytime I can sit down and get to talk about mental health and in a positive aspects, it's always a good thing. And today it's my honor to get to welcome Miss Crystal Kelly and Miss Michelle Rowland from Uniquely You Counseling.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, all righty. Look, you guys got some fresh shirts over there. I'm feeling left out. Y'all didn't want to take care of the host. I like gear. Hey, we could have been sitting up here advertising.
Everything. It's all good. We got you. We still got you.
Okay.
Yes.
Now talk to the people a little bit about Uniquely You Counseling. How long you guys been around? What kind of services do you offer?
Yeah, so my name is Crystal Kelly. I am the owner of Uniquely You Counseling and Wellness Center. I am a licensed therapist. I've been in the field for about 16 years now, but Uniquely You has been around for about 2 years now. And so the things that we offer at Uniquely You is counseling. We offer marriage counseling. We offer grief counseling, family counseling. Anything has to do with mental health, we cover those services.
Okay, great. Now, I do my research, and that's what everybody know that's sitting in my seat. I do my research. There was something I read, brain spotting therapy.
What?
Talk to what is brain spotting therapy to us people that have no idea.
Miss Michelle, you want to introduce yourself and then let's get into brain spotting.
Okay, my name is Michelle Rowland, and I am a trained brain spotter. And what is brain spotting? Brain spotting, I'm going to introduce it in a way that it will make sense. It is basically daydreaming. You know that sometimes when we were little, our parents would say, hey, stop all that daydreaming. And that is exactly what brain spotting is. Sometimes we go into that gaze spotting and we stuck there for a minute. But what was happening at that time is that the brain is actually processing. And if you stay in that position for a long period of time, the brain will process and it will start healing itself. And you wonder, like, well, how can it heal? You will start feeling activation. Activation could feel the sensation in your face. Your heart rate will increase. You start feeling sweaty hands. Even your body will start moving. And so while it's processing, and by the time you make it to the end of the session, you will feel extremely tired. And you will become extremely thirsty also. And some clients say that I just want to do is go to sleep. And so in a nutshell, that is exactly what brain spotting is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now is that something that you use? Who is that? Would young people benefit from that, or is that adults, or is it everybody?
Yeah. So brain spotting been around since 2003. Founded by David Grant. He is a licensed therapist. And so at the time when he discovered brain spotting, he was actually in a session with a 16-year-old figure skater. And he noticed something with her vision. He noticed she was daydreaming. So she held her one spot, like she was looking at a particular spot, and he held that spot. And for her to hold that spot, she started to process things that she never really processed before, which was dealing with some family trauma, dealing with mom issues. And so that's what brain spotting is. It's unlocking files that you may not know that's been closed, that's been shut, bolted, or even there. And it taps into the brain stem, the back of the brain, because a lot of times in therapy, we do talk therapy. We focus on the frontal lobe, the cognition part. But brain spotting touches the deeper part of the brain.
Okay. You guys got any other unique therapy or treatments that people may or may not have heard of?
Yeah, so we are into mindfulness activities. Mindfulness is all about connecting the brain and the body, and that's pretty much what brain spotting is. So we offer that. We offer CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. A lot of it is changing the way that you think. A lot of times people come in there and they're stuck because they got this loop, this cycle of whatever those negative thoughts are when it comes to depression, when it comes to anxiety, grief. It's a matter of how can we reframe the way that you're looking at things.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And another technique that we use for couples called symbols.
Oh, yes.
And symbols is saving your marriage before it gets started. And so it's really good for beginner couples who's trying to get started in a marriage, and also work for couples who's been married for a long time, because the assessment breaks down your truth.
Yeah.
And then from your truth, we take your truth and we process it. And all I do is facilitate it. And so as I facilitate it, we are actually saying things or talking about things that you may wouldn't say when the one was there standing with beside you.
Yes.
We had a couple came in just recently and said that I never knew she felt this way.
Mm,
But in the assessment, it basically gave her truth. And what I do is walk her through her truth. And couples been what 2 years, some with 5 years, some was even 15 years.
yeah.
Gotcha. How was participation been? How's your clientele? I mean,
Yeah.
you guys got some great stuff going on.
We do. And so we're located in Wayndale. And what we're noticing that we're getting a lot of Wayndale people, of course, which
Okay.
is beautiful. And then we're also getting a lot of people that are down in Indy, South Bend, Muncie through telehealth. And so the way we advertise is doing things like this. We're on social media. We have our Facebook page, our website. So it's word of mouth.
Okay, gotcha. Now it's funny though. You said all the surrounding
Yes.
little cities.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you think that's by design? Do people like try to get out of where they live and go and see their therapist where they ain't got to walk out and
What
see
we're-
people that they know? You think that have everything to do with?
Maybe a little bit of that, but what we're noticing is there's not a lot of us. And that's who we're getting, a lot of Black African American females that are looking for people that look like them, or even males. I mean, yeah, guys. And so it's not a lot of mental health counselors that look like us.
Correct. Do you guys do anything like a collaboration or do anything with Courageous Healing? Because again, I know their agency, like you said,
Right.
looks like us. Do things out the box. A lot of good things going on.
Yeah.
You-
And so, yes, we try to collaborate with a lot of different agencies. If there's a client that maybe not be a good fit for us, we would, hey, check out Courageous Healing. This is
Okay.
what they have to offer and where they're located.
Okay. And then the other question I guess I would ask you guys too, is there some progress at the way African Americans, the way we treat mental health? Because again, I sit here and listen to you guys' treatments and therapies that you offer. And I know folks that pay big money to make that, that's personal care. Just like you get your hair done,
Very true.
your nails and all that. That is something that it should be on their weekly regimen to come in and
Yes. Come on.
check in that mental health. And especially like you're talking about couples. Hey, I had some couples rolled off the top of my head. I'm like, man, they would benefit greatly. Even myself, I'm a newlywed, something to,
love
but again,
that.
just to stay, sharp and up on the skills. But have you guys seen, do you feel like you're making a dent, you're making some progress?
I would like to address that. I was just bringing that to Crystal just recently, the stigma that we have as Black individuals. We were told that whatever stays at home, leave at home. Do not come out and talk about it.
Right.
So we're starting to see a lot of that. A lot of us don't want to come and talk about our issues or our pain or our struggles that we go through. But then they're starting to notice that a lot of our Black men are being locked behind bars. And then find out a lot of them have mental health issues. So since the pandemic, I believe that a lot of them are starting to come out now.
Yeah.
They're starting to reach out, and because the phone been ringing off the hook
on.
regarding services,
That's right.
and they're trying to figure out, okay, what's wrong? What am I going through? Why am I feeling this? And so the doors are open to reach them, and even into the churches, trying to talk about setting boundaries.
Yeah.
They don't even want to hear about setting boundaries because their boundaries, even though we go biblically, God had already started boundaries at the beginning in Genesis. But if we follow the order that already God has set for us, then we'll know that boundary setting is a must. But are we setting boundaries in our lives? And that's one thing that I really talk about to a lot of my clients about how do you set boundaries and what boundaries look like.
Yes, that's excellent points. One thing that I see, on a national level, we're seeing more and more athletes coming out talking about their, mental health. We see actors and actresses coming out
Right.
speaking. So now, people are kind of coming out their shell and feel like it's all right to speak. I'm a Breakfast Club fan. Charlamagne the God is always talking
Yeah.
about
Come on.
mental health and
Yeah.
his therapist. And I think the more and more that we do see these things, and a lot of people do emulate what they see and understand it. Hey, it's okay if they can do it.
Come on.
I can do
That's
it.
right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
And so, we are noticing people are reaching out more. People are wanting us to come speak, especially like in the churches now. It just, I love that because, again, if you're human, you're going to be going through some stuff. I mean, it doesn't exempt you from anything. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of how you're going to manage it and asking for help. So it's okay. I love this.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
No question. Now you said you've been in the field for a while.
Yes.
over 16 years.
Yes.
How long you been in the field, Michelle?
Actually, to be honest, starting the mental health journey I'm walking through now, it's been 2 years. But
Okay.
actually, I've been doing this maybe about 16, 20 years.
Come
Yeah,
on.
okay.
Didn't have a title behind it. I had people come to my office and sit in the chairs. And I'm basically doing what I'm doing now.
Gotcha.
And so I transitioned from one job from being over 16 plus years as IT to now doing what God has called me to do.
Okay, awesome. That's a beautiful testimony.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to ask you, Crystal,
Yes, sir.
at your different agencies that you've worked for throughout your journey, how has that helped you to where you're at right now?
Oh wow, great question. I love that. I gained so many different skills. You know, I was in the inpatient facility, dealing with the severe mentally ill, group homes dealing with family structure dynamics, outpatient where people were coming seeking services, and so yes, I gained so many different sets, and I wouldn't change any of that at all. The way I came about it, I love the way that I was able to learn so many different techniques from different people along my journey. I love it.
Yeah, beautiful. That's what that made. That was the first thing that made it kind of jumped out at me, and I was like, man, that's awesome. And a person myself, and I'm almost like you, Michelle. I've been in human services field for dang near 30 years, but I've been at different agencies: Division of Family and Children, Juvenile Probation, had group homes, Fort Wayne Housing, Urban League, all serving family and children. But at each stop, I'm gaining something, I'm picking up something,
Yes.
and they all one thing in common because people say, man, you wear so many different hats. But when you stop to look at it, it's all dealing with
Come on,
people,
That's
Yes.
right.
family, and
Yes.
children. And psychology has always been near and dear to me.
I love it.
I actually minored in that. I should have double majored, but I couldn't get my labs in with basketball. But anyway,
Okay.
as far I'm the closest thing to a therapist that ain't been licensed that you go see. No. But definitely appreciate your journey and your young calling.
Yes.
But that's good.
Yeah.
And now, so as Michelle said, she's doing God's work. Got called a couple years ago. When did you know this was your journey?
Wow, great question too. I was sitting in Psych 101 at University of St. Francis here in town. I actually went in for nursing. That was my major. But I just wasn't feeling it until I sat down in that class one day. My professor, he just changed the whole outlook for me when it came to just psychology. Just the way he taught it, the way he made it just so interesting. And so I changed my major from nursing to psychology.
Okay. See, great.
I know, 'cause I always want to know why people do what they do.
Yeah.
That fascination with the brain. So that's how I kind of came into the field.
Now, see, and I'm like I said, I'm very envious because again, same with me. I've always been about people and how things work, and that's what people that have that talking to different therapists. It's like I don't know why you playing and just don't go in and get it. I don't have the correct terms and the jargon, but when I was coming through, I was thinking, okay, I don't want to be a psychology teacher. And everybody was kind of putting limits on what you could do and what it could be. So, I backed away.
Yeah.
It's so many different
Yes.
avenues you can take with psychology. Working in the hospital, the school system, the jails, group homes. It's just a matter of what you navigate towards, the passion.
And that's so funny you said that because when I first started off, I was in different agencies. I worked for corrections facility. I love working with the boys. And when we were dealing with the boys and I was working in the counseling setting and they were dealing with addiction issues. And it was just a love of my life, but the pay wasn't great. And so when you're young and then you have children, you want to make sure that you have enough to take care of home, So I went from corrections and then went to the welfare department as a case manager. So I started doing case manager, then became a senior case manager. And then here I made it to Social Security. When I got to Social Security, I lost something because I wasn't helping people. I was working on the system.
Gotcha.
And then I realized that this is not what I was supposed to be doing. So now I went all the way back to school, another master's,
Yep.
and now back into the mental health field.
Okay. Awesome. Now, the other thing, look, I'm sitting here, catbird seat, Fort Wayne up close.
Yes.
Tell the people about that. You sit on this side of the desk.
I do.
Talk to people about your show. What kind of things you address? When can people
Right.
listen to you? I mean, again, we want to open up all the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, through OMV, of course, right here in the same studio, I host Your Mental Health Matters. And so I was just telling you earlier, it feels different sitting on this side because I'm in your seat. And so what we talk about, we come the first and third Fridays of each month, and we talk about different mental health issues. And so this month we've been focusing on authors. And so tonight tonight at 8:30. We'll be talking to a special author that will be here at the studio talking about his book that he has out tonight.
Okay.
hmm
Awesome. Y'all heard that. Tune
Yes.
in. Add that to ONV channel. Add that. Get the like button or what they call it, the automatic set your
Yes.
auto tune or auto now. Get your VCR ready. That's how old I am.
There you
How about that? Get your VCR ready. But how can somebody get if somebody wants to get you guys service?
Right.
Let people know how they can hook
Yeah.
up.
So we have the website, uniquelyoucounselingandwellness.com. We're on Psychology Today. We're through Facebook, our social page there. And so this is where we're at, 6710 Old Trail Road, right there in Wayndale area. Just Google us, we'll pop up.
All right, y'all got it. Let's say they should be next time I talk to them. They're gonna tell me about all the people from Fort Wayne. They've had to turn people away. That's what I want to hear.
Come on.
That's how it should be. Let's come
That's
out.
right.
Let's
Yeah.
support them. Again, mental health is key. Everybody
Yeah.
take care of their vehicles, their personal hygiene and habits.
That's right.
That mental
Yeah.
has to be taken care of just as much. It's
Yes.
just as important. I'm gonna ask you one last thing too, because again, in my research, I see you the president of the Society of Black Mental Health Professionals.
Yes, sir.
Okay, again, talk to us lay people. Tell us what does that entail? And
Yeah,
how
so
does
that was something I had started back before the pandemic. I came up with the idea. Again, it's not many Black mental health professionals, and so being in the field, connecting with so many different people, I just thought, would it be cool to have a group of us together? You know, we're powerful in numbers, and so that's kind of like what the idea came about, is just connecting with other Black mental health professionals. And before the pandemic and a little bit after, we were really, really active in just providing education, psychoeducation to the community, especially going into the churches, talking about grief, talking about how to manage trauma, depression. And so it's more of connecting with other mental Black therapists as well, caseworkers, anybody who have a passion for mental health, and then also educating the community.
Okay. So how often do you meet? How's participation with that?
Yeah, so we meet at least once a month. And so since I had got the business here to practice, I have not been as active, but over the past couple of years, we had put on a whole community event a couple times where we did the whole the walk for mental health. We gave away backpacks for back to school supplies and all that when school was getting ready to start. And so it's not as active as of right now, but I'm hoping as time gets together, we'll get that back up and going.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna reach out to you because we're gonna start our financial literacy workshops back. So that
Okay.
financial literacy, a mental state of mind.
Yay.
We like that collaboration. And I want to have a stable of mental health folks on there up there
Okay.
too.
I love it.
Because we need that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, it's been a pleasure having you two on, sitting up here
Yeah.
talking. And look, I'm gonna cut off my own. Was Gary take us out, but then I did have a question too that I know people are interested in.
Okay.
Pay
Yeah.
you guys take insurance?
Yeah, so we definitely take commercial insurance. We take Medicaid, self-pay, but yeah, we definitely take all the major health insurances and Medicaid.
Okay. So perfect. So somebody again set up some services,
Please.
the benefit.
Yes.
Get you take care of your insurance. No different than going and seeing your doctor
Come
get a
on,
checkup.
that's
correct?
right. We got y'all. We got y'all.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Wanted to make sure I got that out there.
I'm glad you did. Yes, I love
But
it.
again, it truly has been a pleasure. Michelle, it's been a pleasure meeting you.
Same here.
Crystal, good to see you again. Send
you,
some
sir.
space and see. I was gentle. I'm a gentle guy.
Yeah, you are. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Please support Fort Wayne Up Close. I'm your host, JJ Foster. Until next time, ONV.